on your own front door.
Happy New Year from all of us at 90.3 Mainland FM, Sound of the Lakes.
Mainland FM 98.3.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
My name is Sahid Fuhad. This is wishing you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. Alright, it's time for Political Roundtable Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Sahid Fuhad. This is the show where we look at the major issues in the political space. It's already looking like Christmas. Yes, it's Christmas. I must say, Christmas Eve is upon us and the lights are out, the lights are up. And I think Lagos is ready. I don't know of other parts of the country, but Lagos seems completely ready for Christmas celebration. Well, things are not looking too good. Nigerians are complaining. There's still cash scarcity. The fuel situation is not completely abated. I think it's about 50% available, 50% scarce. It depends on where you are located in the city of Lagos. There's also the issue of high price of things from rice to chicken. Everybody's complaining, but we just have to find a way to put smiles on our faces and celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And of course, we'll be wishing all our Christian brothers and sisters Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Today I'm going to write solo, but of course I'll be having guests joining me via the phone line. Mr. 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐶𝐵 will be joining us from the United States of America. I think he's on standby already. And of course, we'll also be having an energy expert. He's a financial and energy expert, Mr. 𝐾𝐶𝐴𝐻𝐶 would also be joining us via the phone line. Myself and Mr. 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐶𝐵 will be taking the first two issues on the roundtable this evening. It's going to be an interview for 30 minutes because I had to really drag him into the show this evening. He's having a well-deserved rest. Of course, the first issue on the roundtable this evening is on the rivers crisis. I think we all have all of the updates from the breaking news of a peace resolution on Monday till now that we've been having reactions and counter reactions. We've had elders of Rivers State who have disagreed with the peace agreement as midwifed by the president. We've also had different sides. I think there's a recent video of elders who also paid a visit to the minister of the FCT, the former governor of Rivers State, and of course they were also singing the very popular song for the Mr. President, which is on your mandate we shall stand. So it's been a whole lot of issues. I think one of the most dominant political issues all through the week. So I needed to get by Sakotis to talk on this one. So that will be the first issue for consideration on the roundtable this evening. And Rivers elders, PDP rejects Tinubu's peace deal, say it's one-sided and unconstitutional. So I'll be asking by 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐶𝐵 this evening, what then is the way out? What's the way forward? How do we get out of this? Should we call it a political quagmire or of some sort in Rivers State? And the second issue, I'm going to try to achieved that in 30 minutes with Barrister Curtis Adigba, and that's Mr. Bayo Ononuga. He just released a piece. I think it was published in the Guardian newspaper of today and other online platforms. He's the special advisor, information and strategy to the president. And basically, what he has said is that President Tinubu's reform policies are not responsible for Nigeria's current rough and tough patch. And of course, he's still making assurances that better days are here, lies ahead of us as a people. Of course, what he's saying that these reforms are tough. The president understands the pains of Nigerians at this time, but these are reforms that were bound to happen, and that indeed we were destined to face these challenges, and that it was not really these reforms that had brought us to this very, very tough situation. So we're going to also have a conversation around what Mr. Bayo Ononuga is saying. He wrote a very long piece, detailing out some of the achievements of the government, what had been done so far, and what the future it looks like for Nigerians as the president continues with his reforms policy. So these are the two issues that I will be discussing with Barrister Curtis Adigba this evening. We're going to do that for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to have Mr. 𝐼𝐴𝐾. He'll be having his first appearance, permit me to use that word, on the show this evening. He's a financial and energy expert, especially in the oil and gas sector of the energy market, and we will be looking at the recent statement or the announcement by the federal government that the Port Harcourt refinery, the first phase of the Port Harcourt refinery, has now been completed. And basically what we will be doing is to juxtapose that with what some investigative journalists have done on that particular announcement, and what some other experts are also saying as to the fact that that may not really be the true situation of things, and that the Port Harcourt refinery is a bit far from being completed. So it's important that we have to get an energy expert to really break that down for us. And so I'll be having Mr. 𝐼𝐴𝐾 at exactly 6:30 join us via the phone line to discuss whether indeed it's time for us to celebrate the completion of the first phase, what the government calls the mechanical aspect of the Port Harcourt refinery. We already have Barrister Curtis Adigba online with us, and I think because of time we just go straight to business. Good evening, Barrister Curtis Adigba.
Good evening, and thanks for having me.
It's nice to hear you all the way from the United States of America. Hope you are enjoying your holiday.
Yes, thank you. I am.
All right.
I wish all our listeners the compliments of the season and the best of the holiday period.
All right. Okay, let's just go straight to business, Barrister. Again, we'll start with the update from Rivers State. We all have all of the information, I think, all through the week. Things were just happening from the presidential so-called directive or peace deal. That was the first announcement on Monday. Then, of course, Mr. Fubara also came out and said that look, there was no price that is too much to pay for peace. And then, of course, we've also had different elders now, because again we have too many elders in Rivers State, depending on the political lining and sentiments. We have some who have rejected outrightly the peace deal from the president, saying it's one-sided and completely unconstitutional. The PDP has also said that look, it is unconstitutional, and that indeed they are telling the Independent National Electoral Commission to go ahead and conduct elections to fill the seats that have been declared vacant, the 25 seats that have been declared vacant. That's also the position of the 𝐻𝐸 National Congress, INC, and what they are saying is that look, whatever was done in Abuja was a complete waste of time, and that what the law says is what they stand. We've seen protests again. Supporters of the governor have also been protesting, and what they are saying is that look, this is the time for the governor to man up and be the governor he was elected to be. Of course, Sonny stressed strong messages to the president and the former governor that Rivers is an independent state, and indeed the presidential directive was an insult on the entire Rivers State. I'm going to start with you this way, Barrister Curtis Adigba. What do you make of the Rivers crisis, the recent developments? What are your thoughts?
Okay, thank you so much. First and foremost, I think you understand my position as far as the position of candidates on the political system is. I've always said and maintained that we run a gated community democracy, a democracy whereby you can only have access to power if those who are in the power loop will take you in or give you the access code. And once they take you in, they want to control you. That's one. Number two, I think the president of the country, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is belittling his office. And is abusing his office also because this was the man who swore to uphold the Constitution of Nigeria. So far, his actions, as far as democracy is concerned, are working contrary to that oath of office that they took, and I will explain. Now, first and foremost, I'm not surprised by the way he's behaving, because that is his own modus operandi. Don't forget that after he finished serving in Lagos State as the governor, he's been responsible for producing all the governors after him. And no governor can go contrary, can act according against his wish or directive in the state. So we know that is not going to hold a different opinion. In other words, all that Wike is doing in River State is just copying the president. He's just lifting a page from the playbook of the president. Because that's his mindset, that's what he believes. So he doesn't see anything wrong with that. Okay? Now, but having said that, let's look at how the president has conducted himself in dealing with crisis, political crisis so far. Now, the only reason why we have the Constitution is that it is meant to guide us in our political interactions, as well as in every facet of interaction. The Constitution is meant to guide us. And you know, Nigerian elites, we love to complain about how inadequate the Nigerian Constitution is. Oh, it is too inadequate to meet the needs of a complex entity like Nigeria. But you know what? Every time we have been given opportunity to apply the Constitution to our situation, we balk and then we adopt corrupt political solutions. Look at the case of Ondo State before I come to River. You recall that following the invocation of the doctrine of necessity by the National Assembly, when the late president was sick and he couldn't transmit a letter to the National Assembly, the National Assembly invoked the doctrine of necessity. And thereafter there was an amendment. We knew what the situation was, right?
Yes.
And based on the provision of that constitution, the deputy governor was supposed to have started acting in that capacity as governor. But what happened? When they went to Abuja to meet the president, he stole the political solution. So the deputy governor should go back home and remain deputy governor. The state house assembly that wanted to impeach the deputy governor because he wanted to become acting governor should stop impeaching him. And then you heard about the humongous corruption that went in the name of the governor by some people forging his signature and all that. It got to the point that they couldn't hold on anymore, and the man was allowed to act. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm with you.
The president could have stood by his constitution. The constitution is what to uphold, and said, no, this is not right. Let the man go and act as governor until the governor is back or fully recovered. So when it came to the case of River State, right? You recall that 3 or 4 days before that, Wike was in the office of the chief of staff, looking to see the president. And then he busted that into the song, "On Your Mandate, We Stand." If you recall, that video went viral.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, members of the State House of Assembly loyal to him defected without division or crisis in their party. Now, this is a matter that went as far as the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court interpreted Section 109, 1G, where the court laid down the marker in the case of Adobe and Labour Party, that if there is no division in your party as a member of the legislature and you choose to defect, you have lost